Hello, go horrors and fellow dead eight. I'm Brennan,
I'm Sam.
and welcome to Our Life in Horror.
I guess quick shout out. We've changed our intro here, so we'll
Yeah,
give a shout out to our Patreon members, Sean, Miki, Bo, AJ, Rob,
Jay and Craig.
Jay, and Craig. Did I say Kayla?
No, kill.
Kayla. I write this down. On Patreon, we do after hours shows. We're gonna do one after this where we're gonna talk about our busy weekend. It's just the two of us this time, but when we have guests, there's guests on our after hours shows. Um, we do You're doing non-horror movie reviews.
Yep.
I'm reading a book currently. I got to get the last chapter out this week. We got Discord where we all chat,
Yep.
and we're on Instagram, X, TikTok, all under Our Life in Horror.
Did we ever send the invites to Craig and Jay for the Discord?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just didn't. I don't know if they use Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we were actually just on their podcast too, Sinister Screen. So I'm excited for that one to come out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So today's movie we're going to be discussing is Megan is Missing.
This has been on our watch list for a while.
Yep.
And when did you buy this one?
You got it for me for
Christmas, birthday?
birthday, Christmas. Yeah.
So a little bit ago.
Yep.
And it's one of those movies that people have said is very disturbing. So you kind of have to be in the right mood to watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, spoiler-free thoughts, I guess. Oh no, I'll get into all
The
the
facts.
I didn't print anything, so I gotta do it on my phone. Give me 1 minute. All right. Megan is Missing has a 4.6 on IMDb and a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. A teenager mysteriously disappears without a trace after meeting someone she has been talking to online. Um, Release date was May 2011. Director is Michael Goy. Budget was 30 to 35,000. And that's it. That's all the facts I got there for the movie.
Okay. Who's it star?
Oh, and starring, sorry. Let me pull up the cast. Rachel Quinn, Amber Perkins, and Dean Waite.
Okay.
Yeah. So, spoiler-free thoughts.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be dark, but I did not expect it to be as dark as it went.
Me too. Like when everyone says it's like, oh, this is a really disturbing movie we watched. Like it's really unsettling. It's really hard to watch. Sometimes I'm like, okay, try me.
Yeah.
Like bring it on because I like disturbing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting it either.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those like I dare you to watch this movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially if you grew up in the time, you can definitely relate to a lot of things that are happening on screen.
that's why this was so effective to me because I didn't realize it was filmed back in 2011. I thought this was a newer movie.
Yep.
So watching it, I'm like, wow, they nailed this time period because you and I were born when these girls were born. So
Yeah.
they were our age at our age,
Yep.
if that makes sense. So like the outfits, the webcam chatting, the everything was on point,
Yeah.
which made it that much more effective for me.
Yeah, and it's set in 2008, right?
Yeah, 2007.
2000.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were literally teenagers when we were teenagers, like in this movie. So
Yeah.
it just felt super realistic. I'm not gonna say what happens, obviously. It's not good.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how effective it was for me. Like my heart stopped at times.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, all I can really say is wow. Yeah.
We'll get into spoilers.
Yeah, we got to
Okay.
get into it in order to
If
talk about it.
if you have seen this movie and make it to the end of our episode, I'm going to be talking about the fun facts on the movie and this. I'll read the article of what this story was inspired on.
Okay.
And also,
I don't even know if I want to hear it.
after watching the movie, I think you're okay.
Okay.
Obviously, the movie is not a true story, but it's inspired by other stories, and
Of course.
this story I'm going to read later is real. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get into spoilers though.
Okay.
All right. Describe this movie in 3 words.
Oh boy, these are about the only things I did right because let me see. I think I put down a few. So I put down need a shower is fucking depressing
Yeah.
and Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Those are all fitting.
Yeah.
I put down my worst nightmare. This is okay. This sounds bad because it's such a disturbing movie, but this is my type of horror. I want something that is going to scare me, and something like movies don't tend to scare me anymore, like a lot of us in the horror community. But as a female, thank God I'm like almost 32 years old, and I think I'm past the point of the shit happening or like getting sold in the sex trade and stuff. But this is the shit I feared growing up, right?
Yep.
So I like this stuff, but it's my worst nightmare. And then I also put jarring, nostalgic because of the time period, and captivity.
Okay. Yep.
Who's your favorite character?
I think Amy is the best character in this movie.
Okay.
It's not that Megan's a bad character, but she's just Megan has already gone through so much traumatic trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Megan's just kind of pure throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
I'd say it's more Amy's story than it is Megan's story.
Okay. See, I'm the opposite.
Okay.
Megan's my favorite. She vouches for Amy to come to the party and she sticks up for her and is basically like, I'm not coming unless my friends come in. And then at the party, someone's passing Amy a joint and she like kicks it, like pushes it out of her way and like it's like, don't give that to her kind of thing, and she's always like sticking up for her and she's like sweet with her. And
Yeah, but
Amy annoyed me a little bit.
but do you think Megan should be introducing Amy to that type of environment if she knows it's already not good for her?
She just wants Amy to fit in, I guess, and like wants her to like. I understand where you're coming from completely because those people are all trash.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because you can tell that Amy wants to fit in. Like she's always like, I'm such a loser,
Yeah.
whatever, right? So Megan thinks she's doing a good thing.
Yeah, and it's hard too at that age because like you want to fit in so bad that you almost do anything to.
This movie reminds me of the movie 13. Did you ever watch that? Or was that more of a girly thing to watch when we were kids?
I've never heard of it.
Okay, so at that age, there was this movie called 13 that all the girls watched, and it was our favorite movie. It's basically about a cool girl and a not so cool girl. The not so cool girl comes in and hangs out with the cool crowd. She starts getting piercings. She starts like they're rebellious.
Yeah.
Who's in it? The girl from Westworld, the main girl.
I've never seen Westworld either.
What else is she in? I don't know, but and then I think it's, you know what? I'm looking it up quick. I forget her name. Like she's married to one of the Salvatore brothers from Vampire Diaries. It's Nikki something, I think. 13 movie. Nikki Reed and Evan Rachel Wood.
Nikki Reed looks familiar.
Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to think. She's in Twilight, V Wars, Lords of Dogtown. But yeah, so anyway, really good movie. This kind of reminded me of it in a way, but it doesn't take this turn, obviously.
Yep.
But growing up, that movie was like super rebellious and cool to watch. And that's kind of Megan's character, what Megan's character reminded me of.
Okay.
But anyway, she has gone through a lot, so I felt for her through the whole movie. So yeah, she was my favorite to follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Least favorite character?
The other three friends.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even put Josh down.
Yeah.
Josh should have been the worst character, but
Yeah.
I think the other three friends are just as disgusting.
Yeah. I put down men.
Oh, thanks.
There's the guy that slaps Amy. There's the
Oh,
guy that's
yeah.
making Megan give him the blowjob. Like they're just all the men in this are slimy, but I can agree the friends are not great either.
I'd say all the other characters,
Yeah.
like except for like a couple parents, all the other child characters or teenage characters in this movie are just despicable.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Male or female.
Yeah. Best acting?
I would probably say, I don't know. I think Megan and Amy. I don't have the character sheets in front of me, but those two actresses I thought were really good. I think Amy maybe not so much. She has a couple parts, but I think that's just due to the fact that she's a child actor.
Yeah, I know that yeah. I definitely went with Megan, Rachel Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah. She just had the most range, I guess, and yeah, I'm not gonna say too much bad.
Okay.
Um, Score and soundtrack.
There is no score and soundtrack.
No, there's literally just music at the party that they're at, and that's it.
Yeah, which makes it even more effective.
Yeah, I mean, it's a found footage technically, so
Yeah, not
It's-
technically it is.
it is. Yeah, so they're not gonna put a score behind that.
Yeah, and even almost like a slash mockumentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinematography.
I think it's unique. I don't know what predates what, but this was like this predates Unfriended, right? I think
Oh, I don't know.
because this would be one of the first movies that used like webcams as a storytelling device.
Yeah.
And cell phones.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it does predate that or not.
Unfriended, you said?
Yeah. Because I feel like Unfriended came out later.
I
Like
think it did
I
too.
feel like I was living in Delhi, so I must have been in my mid-20s by then.
Yeah, 2014 was Unfriended.
Okay. So yeah. So I think this is like the stepping stone for heading in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say it's very unique. It shows how kids communicated back in the day. Pretty much, you're just in chat rooms, and I wasn't in chat rooms personally, and I didn't have a cell phone until I was 14.
I was in chat rooms.
I've
I was talking to strangers. Yeah.
Nope. Nope, not me. I was 14, 15 before I got my own cell phone. I had to get a job before I could get a cell phone. So
Yeah.
whenever the legal age of working was, that's when I
Yeah.
got a cell phone because I could buy it myself.
Yeah. No, I remember being in grade 8 and me and my friend even webcamming guys from different schools and like
Yeah.
yeah, so I think that's why this affected me even more because I was like, fuck, I've been here.
Yeah.
They had their camera on though, these boys, so I knew they were boys, but still.
You just never know.
No, I know. And the whole time watching this movie, I was like, this would be a very good movie to show kids for internet safety, but then maybe don't. I don't know. They have to be to a certain age, right?
Don't show them the last half hour of the movie.
Yeah, I have a fact about this actually, about internet safety showings and stuff. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked that they were showing it, I guess, but it would scare the crap out of people. If we were to have kids, we're not having kids, but if we were to have kids, I'd fucking show them this movie when they're teenagers. Be like, you go online, this is what's gonna happen. Scare the poop out of them.
It's not if you go online, it's more so if you meet somebody.
Meet strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't tell anyone your address. Don't
send anything.
Yeah, don't do any personal information online because this will happen to you.
Yeah.
Give them nightmares. Favorite costumes and outfits.
I didn't really have any.
I just like that it was all on point with the time period. Like
Yeah.
even the girls had their layered shirts at times, and it was just so early 2000s, and it was
Yeah.
nostalgic, I guess. The makeup too, and
Yep.
yeah. Memorable lines.
I didn't have any either.
Yeah, I just had one funny one, but really there's no like
It's nothing I'm gonna want to repeat to anybody.
no. The only one I wrote down was because guys look really stupid before they come.
That was pretty funny. Yeah. There's a couple funny lines here and there.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, like this dialogue is just sad.
It's sad, it's degrading, it's yeah. Lines disliked.
I'm sure there was lots.
Yeah.
But I didn't write any down.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like taking the time to write down all the
Okay.
raunchy lines.
Favorite kill?
I don't know. I don't really have they're not favorite kills at all. I guess the Megan reveal in the barrel was that fucked me up for a moment.
That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I literally like my heart jumped.
Yeah.
Like, and then I felt sick after. I was like, did that just happen? Like it was just so jarring.
And so fast. Like you only get a glimpse of it and then it goes away. But like you can see in that quick glimpse like how rotted she's already become.
It freaked me right out. And you're just not expecting it. And then least favorite would be
I'd say
Amy, yeah.
Yeah. Being buried alive in a barrel with your best friend that's already dead that's just fucked up.
Yeah, and just hearing her plead the whole time, like
Yeah.
she's pulling out any trick in the book. Like, I love you, we can be together. And
Yeah.
it's
It's,
probably what people actually do before they die in those situations.
oh yeah, for sure.
Like, that's just terrifying.
I mean, if you're gonna be buried alive, are you not gonna try everything to get out of there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I suck your dick. Like, get me out of here. Yeah, I would do anything. Like, it just felt like we were actually watching it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what made it so effective. Or factor in special effects.
Megan's decomposing body was gross and sad. There's not too much in
The photos.
the photos were quick, but
That
yeah,
fucked me up.
yeah,
Yeah. Did that fuck you up?
yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I was thinking about it the whole time. I was thinking about it after we went to bed. I was thinking about the photos. I actually Googled them again because I had to I did do this weird thing when something fucks me up, I have to see it again.
Yeah,
I did it with Backcountry with the
bear.
bear scene. I watched it again the next day. Didn't help. So I don't know why I tried again. I Googled the photos in bed and then I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I went back on TikTok live on that dating show watching it. I'm like, okay, no,
No wonder
that was a bad idea.
no wonder you had nightmares last night.
I know. Yeah, those photos fucked me up. I was just not expecting that. Like, and I think it's just so fucked because it felt so real, like watching it. And she's like, the actress was actually 17 too.
Okay.
So she's actually underage.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it just freaked me out. I wasn't expecting it at all, and it just happened so quick. Storyline and pacing. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry. Um, I think this is just like the ugly truth with child abductions. I think it's a um, very realistic depiction of what could happen.
Hmm.
Um, and it shows all, not all sides, but it just shows how even like news companies can take advantage of it, and then how friends will also take advantage, quote unquote, friends will take advantage of the situation as well. Um, like you see in the movie, you see them putting up that memorial with the pink stuff, the party stuff,
Okay.
the pink ribbon.
Okay.
And like you see the guy that hit Amy
Mm-hmm.
doing it, and then you see the three friends that were like, they weren't Megan's best friends.
Yeah.
But even when Megan disappears, they go on and they're like, "Oh, Megan was my best friend, and we did all that. We talked the whole time, but it wasn't true."
Yeah.
They're just like, "We're gonna get our 15 minutes in the spotlight here."
Mm-hmm.
And then also the same thing with Amy. When she goes missing, those people literally told Amy to go fuck herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she goes missing, they're like, "Oh yeah, we hope you come back and we miss you," blah blah blah. It's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And then you get the news with, they're clearly getting views because it is an important subject. Like, don't get me wrong, it's important to keep things up to date. But I think the reenactment scene was a little, I believe that they do that. And personally, in my opinion, I don't think you need to do it. There was news cam footage.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to do a reenactment. I think that's a strictly get some viewership going on.
And you can do the reenactment without showing it on the camera.
Yeah, that's something that you do like years later.
Yeah.
That's not something that you do during
Yeah.
a child missing investigation.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like were the parents when they were doing their interview. I didn't think they were too great.
Amy's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wrote that down as a least favorite scene, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, come on, show some emotion.
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't even look sad.
Yeah. And then you get Amy, like, not Amy, but like Megan's backstory, and it's just tragic. And you wonder if she like even, she doesn't even, I think she's conditioned maybe so young that she doesn't even realize half the shit that's going on is truly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she does and she just doesn't know how to break this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really sad to listen to her story.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I didn't write that much down.
that's just coming from the top of my head.
Yeah.
I didn't write like fuck all down for this movie.
I liked the pacing of this movie. Like, the build up was like, and usually with like, I don't know if I would consider this a slow burn a little bit, I guess, but I think just because of the time period, I was so invested.
Yep.
Because it was just so relatable. And like I even liked how they called him Skater Boy. And then there was like a photo of like some skater boy. Cause I was like, that's the type of boy I would have like wanted to message online at that age, right? So
Yep.
I don't know, just with it being so relatable and nostalgic, it was that much better. That's all I really have to say about it, I guess, because you just nailed a bunch of it.
I'm
But
sorry.
no, that's okay.
Yeah.
But even like I said, how it's a little bit of a slow burn. Once shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stop.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Favorite scenes?
I don't find any of this to be a favorite movie watch for me. Like this movie it's effective in what it does,
Yeah,
but because I've seen it, I don't think I'm probably gonna be watching it again.
I actually took out favorite and put memorable.
Oh, okay.
So you want me to go through my list?
Sure.
Because I
And
have a big list here.
I'll chime in on it because
I agree. None of this is a favorite scene. Like I'm not like giddy about it, you know.
Yeah,
But they're memorable for me, I guess.
this isn't like Night of the Creeps movie. This is
No.
a taking of the Poughkeepsie tapes type of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start with the party scene where the guy slaps Amy and Megan is giving head, but like even just the way he's like grabbing her hair and dragging her afterwards, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I hate all that's right after that. I wrote down men in the least favorite characters. Like, fuck these guys. So yeah, again, not favorite, memorable.
Okay.
The summer camp story. She was 10
Yep.
and he was 17.
Yep.
That was gross.
Yep.
The news report. Oh, this was a favorite scene with the Cocker Spaniel that drives the owner's car into the store.
Oh yeah, the one scene of levity throughout the whole movie, and that's all you get.
The one scene, yeah. Oh my God, the lesbian girl crying over Megan, being like, she loved me. I loved her.
Yeah.
It's like, she didn't fucking love you. She told you straight up she wasn't into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Oh, Amy recording outside, and you see the guy Josh in the behind the trees.
Yeah.
I looked over at you. I was like, "Did you see that?"
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, look, there he is."
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
it was very eerie.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and then I wrote down Amy's parents. That should be in least favorite scene about them not even acting sad. I think that was just acting poorly. Megan in the barrel, my heart dropped when that happened, when we see her reveal. And then Amy pleading at the end was obviously memorable and sad.
Yeah, the whole last half hour of this movie is extremely memorable.
Yeah, and then under least favorite scenes, I guess this is all just memorable, kind of. I put the photos of the fetish site, freaked me out. And the puke makeout scene when the two girls are making out, all I was thinking about was how nasty that Coke must taste. And then all of a sudden the puke dropped, and I think I actually jumped. I was like, oh my God. Like, and then it took me a minute to process that was puke too. I was just like thinking about the nasty drugs in their mouth. And then I was like, oh my God.
I know, I don't know why they think that that's a good idea.
No.
Oh.
That made me want to gag alone without the puke.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, those are my memorable scenes.
Okay.
And the killer.
Josh, aka Skater Boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's an excellent manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell he just kind of jumps around from chat room to chat room. And they said that those photos were lifted off a website, right? So he's clearly a part of some larger ring.
I guess so.
Yeah. So he's done, it's not his first rodeo. And they also had a missing boy too. When Megan was first declared missing, there's also
yeah, they mentioned it real quick and then just passed over it again because the female's missing.
Exactly. And I was almost thinking he could be I'm not sure what his name was or anything like that.
A person of color.
Yeah.
I thought the exact same thing. And I was like, fuck, I wish I remember I caught on to what the name was because it happened so quick.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, that's how it would go.
Yep.
It would happen so quick, and then they'd go back to the white girl.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, this boy's missing too, and he's probably missing by the same fucking guy.
Probably.
Josh is probably after whatever he can get.
Yeah, I think it was like a town over or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that was really sad.
But like, yeah, he's smart. He knows the schools that they go to. He knows the party house as well. So he's been
Mhm.
following these girls for at least quite some time.
Yeah, because he was able to say her outfit.
Yeah, so he was clearly watching through the window or
Yeah.
something. Or he was somebody at the party and you just don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's the one that brought them the booze or like, you know,
Yeah, because
their hookup or something.
yeah, because there was one older black gentleman there, and I was like, "You're probably too old to be here."
Oh, I never caught on to that.
Yeah, it's not Josh, but
Maybe
like
he's like a drug dealer or something.
yeah,
or-
yeah. Well, even the guy that was selling them blow was also older.
Yeah.
He was what 24 or something like that. And,
Yeah.
like that's pretty out of place. But oh, I guess it's not out of place. It's probably more realistic than what you'd think.
Well, it's like our neighbor just told us about that pedophile in town.
Yeah.
He was hanging out with them, and that guy's 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our neighbor's a teenager.
Yeah.
And then he found out that he was a pedophile. And
Yeah.
he's like literally messaging girls and boys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have our own fucking Josh.
Mhm.
I didn't even put those together. That is really scary, actually. I don't like that at all. I know what his truck looks like, though. We'll go beat him.
Oh, okay.
He's literally on a TikTok site.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
wild.
it is wild. He actually had to take his he had a decal on his truck. He took it off so that he can't be noticed anymore.
Mhm.
And he had a green license plate. He got rid of that, and he got rid of something else that our neighbor said. I'm not going to say his name. He got rid of something else, and it's all because he's on this site now and he doesn't want to get recognized. And he's like, we still know what your truck looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
And the guy with the truck, the pedo, sorry, this is a tangent. His uncle is a cop in Kitchener, so they're reporting him through the London police. Yeah, I guess that's going on right now. But
okay.
anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it with the killer. I have nothing else to say.
Okay.
He even had a good like I said, going after the name of Skater Boy, because us girls back then were all out like into that, you know?
Yeah.
So like
Skaters were huge.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a thing. Like you got the flow going on with the hat and your skateboard looking close. You were cool. Yeah. Scary rating.
I'd probably give it a 9.
I wrote down 9, but after talking about this more, it's probably a 10 for me. This is my type of scary movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is the shit that freaks me out.
No.
Rewatchability.
Probably not.
Yeah, I actually wrote down no last night. I would watch it again if a friend wanted me to freak them out. That's how I would watch it.
Yeah.
How often do I hang out with friends to watch horror movies? Not often. It's just usually us too. So we're not going to sit down and watch it again.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a good addition into my collection, but I don't think this is something that I'd be popping in the rewatchability section.
Yeah. Would you recommend?
If you're looking for something fucked up,
That's exactly what I wrote down. If you're looking for something disturbing, especially if you are in our age group.
yeah, like
Because-
if you're anywhere from 28 to 35 right now,
And you want a fucked up movie?
and you want something that relates to you, like extremely hardcore,
This is it.
This is for you.
All right, final movie rating as a whole. We rate our movies with emojis. 1 out of 5 is a poop emoji. Then we have the eye roll emoji, okay emoji, thumbs up emoji, and a 100 emoji. What would you rate this?
Oh, I'd probably give it a high thumbs up,
Okay.
just for realism, how fucked up it got me. I probably didn't give it the full 100 because it's not something I could rewatch.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very effective movie.
Yeah, this is a low 100 for me. I was gonna give it a full 100, but there's a couple scenes of acting that I didn't love. And yeah, the rewatchability, I guess. But this is a movie that has affected me a lot.
Yep.
And that hasn't happened in a while. And I watched what did I watch the other day? Killing Ground.
Yep.
I did a review of it on our YouTube. It's very similar to Eden Lake. It does have some brutal scenes, but this affected me way more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, low 100 for me.
Okay.
So we'll get into some fun facts, and then I'm going to read an article on what this movie is sort of inspired by. It was inspired by obviously multiple stories. Like there's so many stories out there, like this happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but this is kind of the story of two girls kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah. Hit us with those disturbing fun facts.
okay, in order to be fully aware of their participation in the movie and graphic content, the parents of the young cast were asked to be on set during shooting, which is good.
Smart.
Yes. Because I was actually shocked when I found out that they were actually underage.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Shot in 2006 over a week with a skeleton crew of 5 for a budget of 30,000 to 35,000, but wasn't released until 2011 by Anchor Bay Films. That's a
Oh,
long time. It's 5 years.
you'd be amazed on how long movies get shelved for.
Yeah. The film became a pop culture sensation and the film became a pop culture sensation in November of 2020 after it went viral on the video sharing social media platform TikTok, where it received 83 million views.
Jesus.
Dean Waite, who plays Josh, also plays Paul Stalberg at 55 minutes 27 seconds. Okay. Amy was born in 1993, while Amber Perkins was born in 1989. Is that, I'm guessing, the actress?
Yep.
Okay. The news ticker at the bottom of the My Child is Missing reads that the Today Show would be adding a 4th hour in the fall. This was indeed true, as the now infamous wine-fueled hour debuted in September of 2007. The movie takes place in January 2007. The movie Seven is referenced by Megan. That's why we were just talking about that movie.
I know, I thought the same thing.
She also mentions a person that looked like Kevin Spacey's John Doe. This may be the director saying that this movie will be as disturbing as people thought Seven was.
Okay.
The film was partly inspired by the 2002 disappearances of Ashley Pond and Miranda Gaddis in Oregon City, which I'll be getting into later. That's it. I'll get into the other stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not a real story, but it's inspired by multiple stories. The director wanted to be as real as possible to scare teens from meeting strangers online, and he worked with a forensic investigator to make the ending feel as horrifying as possible. The movie goes viral every few years when it gets rediscovered, and there's a TikTok trend for reaction videos.
Okay.
Yeah. The film has been praised by Mark Klass, founder. Okay, so I found a lot of this info on thoughtcatalog.com, by the way. I just want to reference that. The film has been praised by Mark Klass, founder of the Class Kids Foundation and the father of Polly Klass, a 12-year-old girl who was abducted from a slumber party and then molested and murdered by Richard Allen Davis in California in 1993. He said, Megan is Missing is a powerful, important film that deserves both attention and discussion. It should serve as a wake-up call for parents everywhere. Class Kids has also hosted fundraisers with Michael Goy, the director, where the movie is shown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I was kind of talking about in the beginning.
Yep.
Michael Goy has issued this warning for anyone who wants to watch Megan is Missing. Do not watch the movie in the middle of the night. Do not watch the movie alone. And if you see the words photo number 1 pop up on your screen, you have about 4 seconds to shut off the movie if you're already kind of freaking out before you start seeing things that maybe you don't want to see. Yeah, 4 seconds is right.
Yeah.
If that. Fuck, that fucked me. Okay, so I'm going to read the article now. The most gruesome, this is from thoughtcatalog.com as well. The most gruesome aspects of Megan is Missing were, I'm extremely sorry to tell you this, based on a real story. On January 9th, 2002, a 12-year-old girl named Ashley Pond disappeared on the way to her school bus stop in Oregon City. A few months later, Ashley Pond's best friend, 12-year-old Miranda Diane Gaddis, also disappeared. While it was still a mystery, the story was featured on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. 8 months after she disappeared, police found Ashley Pond's body in a 55-gallon barrel underneath a concrete slab in the yard of Ashley and Miranda's friend, Mallory Weaver. Gaddis's body was also found on the property. Mallory's father, Ward Weaver II, was charged, tried, and convicted for the murders. The three girls had been best friends and were on a dance team together and had frequent sleepovers at the Weavers' house. Ashley even moved in with the Weavers for a bit because her home life was unstable. However, Ashley moved home after taking a 2-week vacation with the Weaver family to California, during which Ward raped her. Ward's response to this was pretty bizarre. He left a message for one of Ashley's relatives that said, "I'm calling to let you know that Ashley has just been now accused me of molesting her and raping her. I want you to know that she is never allowed back at my house again. I've completely washed my hands of her. She just ruined the relationship." Ashley was 12 at the time. This occurred in September 2001, 4 months before Ashley disappeared. Another witness said that Ward's live-in girlfriend was mad at him because he slept in the same bed as Ashley instead of his adult girlfriend. It's also pretty weird that all this happened, multiple people in the community knew and informed investigators, and it still took 8 months for police to get a search warrant for the Weaver's house. Before he got caught for Ashley and Miranda's murders, Ward Weaver had physically and sexually abused a family member before he was 12 years old, no charges. Beaten and raped another teen in 1981. This was reported to police, but they declined to charge Weaver because he was enlisted and leaving town. Beaten his 5 months pregnant wife so badly she was hospitalized. Again, no charges. Been reported by a teacher at the girls' school for kissing Ashley Pond on the lips when he dropped her off at school after a sleepover. No charges. How does he get away with all this shit? Been reported by Ashley Pond herself to have raped her. This was reported to the police in 2001, but they never followed up and charged Weaver with any crime. No charges. Also in 1984, Ward's father, Ward Weaver the first. I always find it funny when someone's less, there's like the first or the second. I don't know why I laugh at that. Was convicted of murdering a couple in California whose car had broken down. He also buried the bodies in his backyard. Ward Weaver wasn't even caught because police finally realized, Ward Weaver wasn't even caught because police finally realized maybe they should investigate the man the missing girl said raped her right before she went missing. He was caught because his son, Francis Weaver, called the police on him because Ward tried to rape his son's 19-year-old girlfriend. Jesus Christ. During a subsequent conversation with police, Francis told them he thought his father kidnapped and killed Ashley Pond and Miranda Gaddis and buried Ashley's body underneath the concrete slab in his yard. A search warrant was issued and both girls' bodies were found on the property. The Weaver's house was a few hundred yards from the girls' bus stop.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just gross. You like your daughters go and sleep at their friend's house and you just expect them to be taken care of, right?
Yeah.
And that's the complete opposite of what was happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was 2001. I said that story was.
Yeah.
So the movie was filmed in 2006. So
It wasn't filmed in 2006, was it? It takes place during 2007.
shot in 2006.
Oh,
Yeah. So only a few years later. Yeah, I guess that's what it was inspired by. But like this shit unfortunately happens all the time.
yep.
You see, I remember always seeing missing kids posters on like trucks when you're driving on the highway and at stores and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, like I was telling you about that video series that I was watching yesterday about it was an experiment, but it was a kid walking in front of some people, and then a guy would run up and like pick the kid up and cover his mouth and then duck into an alleyway. And one person out of the whole video actually ran in to help.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and they did it like 6 or 7 times before anybody even jumped in. So
I feel like I would freak.
yeah, same.
Like I would be like, what the fuck? I'd make sure everyone notices. I don't know.
They noticed, they just didn't do anything.
No, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. So that's Megan is missing.
That's yeah. I definitely had to watch something different last night for a little bit.
Yeah, I went on TikTok and just scrolled fun videos
Yeah.
because I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know if you like the movie.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts.
Did it affect you?
Yeah, how did it affect you? Did you show your kids this?
Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify, comment on our post, I guess. And
Yeah.
yeah. How do we outro this again? Oh,
Um,
I'm so flustered.
We are Our Life in Art. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and X. We're also on Patreon, where we do some bonus content every month. We try to get out as much as possible. And also we're on YouTube, so we don't have anything planned, I don't think, for next week's episode.
No, we're taking next week off.
Okay.
We're planning a big barbecue
Yeah.
for your 30.5th birthday because we missed your 30th.
Yes.
So we are going to take next week off because Friday's going to be all cleaning and prepping, and Saturday is the party. Sunday is going to be a write-off.
Yeah.
And this week we're just really busy too. It's already Monday today that we're recording this.
Yeah, we've been cleaning and what do you call this?
Redecorating.
Redecorating.
Yeah, we redecorated the whole house.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll record our after hours after this. And all right.
All right, guys.
Thanks for listening, guys. Stay spooky.